The Indiana Fever just won a big-time game against the Minnesota Lynx. Now, Nafisa Collier was not playing. She was out, so they were shorthanded, but the Indiana Fever pulled off the W. And, but going into the fourth quarter, they were down 7 points, and it looked like they were losing the momentum of this game. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back over that fourth quarter and look at what exactly the Indiana Fever did to be able to maintain and secure a lead. But before we go there, we have to look at what exactly the Indiana Fever were doing in the first 3 quarters that got them down 7 points. I wrote down a few notable things I saw from the first 3 quarters. The first one was the Indiana Fever had terrible perimeter defense. The Minnesota Lynx were shooting a whole bunch of threes. If you even go watch the highlight reels, if you didn't catch the game, you'll see the Minnesota Lynx players just shooting a whole bunch of threes. A whole lot of them. The perimeter defense was not it. So the Indiana Fever, they had to pick up their perimeter defense in that fourth quarter. In those first 3 quarters, I also saw a lot of Kelsey Mitchell forcing shots. In that fourth quarter, she let the game come to her a little bit more. If you know Kelsey Mitchell, you know sometimes she is just really, really great and she's letting the game come to her. And then sometimes she is just forcing too many shots and she's a ball hog. In those first 3 quarters, I saw a lot of her being a ball hog, just shooting bad shots, going off the dribble, ISO one-on-one shots. She was hitting like the side of the back. Well, she didn't hit the side of the backboard, but she did miss the rim a few times. It was not looking good for Kelsey Mitchell, so I'm glad she picked that up in the fourth quarter. One of the more notable reasons why the Indiana Fever were not playing that well in those first 3 quarters is that they were not pushing the pace. When they don't push the pace, nothing good happens. They play their best basketball when they're playing fast and they're outrunning the other team. For one, Caitlin Clark is prone to way more assists. Caitlin Clark had 7 assists in this game. Last 2 games, I think she accounted for, 27? Look, she gets more assists when they're pushing the pace. She even admitted it herself. She said that her amazing assist numbers over the past 10 games have come from the fact that the Indiana Fever have been playing faster. When they play faster, she says that she gets more assists. So what you need from Caitlin Clark is them pushing the pace, and no, that was not happening. Now, the main reason why the Indiana Fever were down 7 points going into that fourth quarter was the fact that Caitlin Clark was having a terrible shooting night. She wasn't just shooting the ball well. So going into that fourth quarter, look at this first play. Caitlin Clark hit a great 3-point shot. That was a bad screen by Aaliyah Boston, but look, Caitlin Clark came off, and even though it was contested, she hit the shot. That is a Steph Curry kind of play. That's a Klay Thompson kind of play. That's a Reggie Miller type of play where you're peeling off that screen, just hitting a 3-point shot. The team goes as Caitlin Clark goes. She is the motor of this Indiana Fever team, so it's great to see her making shots, and they start off the fourth quarter on a very high note. Now, nothing too special happens on this play, but look, Caitlin Clark is dancing with the basketball a little bit, and notice how she touches the paint. She touches the paint, and the defense collapses on her, leaving Kelsey Mitchell open. Kelsey Mitchell gets the ball and hit a 3-point shot, and notice how Kelsey Mitchell doesn't catch the ball here and then try to go one-on-one and do a whole bunch of bull crap. No, she gets the ball, and then she takes what the defense gives her, which is an open shot. What I like to see is her playing off of Caitlin Clark and just taking open looks. I like to see her more off ball than on ball, because when she's on ball, she's doing too much. When she's off ball, she's making use of that Caitlin Clark gravity. I like to see Kelsey Mitchell shoot shots like this. Now, this is where the game starts to shift. Kelsey Mitchell pushes the pace off a rebound. She pushes the pace, and good things always happen when you push the pace in transition. She finds Katie Lou Samuelson, easy 3-point bucket. Like I said, in those first 3 quarters, the Indiana Fever were not pushing the pace. They were not pushing the pace, and that is why I think they were down. That's why they weren't having the best game. That's why Caitlin Clark didn't have that many assists. It's because she gets her most assists when they're pushing the pace, when they're running fast, and when they're not playing fast against a hard set defense, nothing good comes out of that. So this is where the game starts to shift, because they start pushing the pace. Even the play right before this, Caitlin Clark pushed the pace. Notice how when she pushes the pace, good things happen. I would have liked if Lexi Hull would have probably passed that ball to Kelsey Mitchell there. She forced a shot. It doesn't matter. They didn't score. But just pushing the pace changes the trajectory of the game. It changes the speed of the game. You don't want the Indiana Fever to have to go down to Alyssa Smith and Aaliyah Boston all the time to make these hard, difficult paint shots. You don't want Kelsey Mitchell to have to go one-on-one ISO all the time. They play their best basketball when everybody's getting easy looks around the rim. And that only comes from pushing the pace in transition. Now, notice this amazing play. Look how the speed of the game has changed already. Caitlin Clark off the rebound pushes the pace, and notice how she does a razzle-dazzle ankle breaker, get to the paint. Good things happen when she touches the paint. I'm telling y'all, when she touches the paint in transition, good things happen. She's either going to get an easy layup or she's going to get a kick out, because when the defense is in scrambles, it's harder to guard Caitlin Clark when she's going faster than everybody on defense. She is an amazing player in transition. She is the best that she can possibly be when she's playing in transition, and then when they're playing in transition and she touches the paint, greater things happen. I love to see this. But before we move on, I just want to ask one question. Who said Caitlin Clark had no bag? It seems like she was deep in her bag on this play right here. So I'm just asking. I remember all y'all were saying Caitlin Clark can't take it off the dribble, this and that. She's just a shooter. Who said that? Because it seems like she got a little bag right here. Check out this next play. Notice how Kelsey Mitchell is coming off a screen, and off that screen she gets a lot of space because the defender goes under the screen, giving Kelsey Mitchell a whole lot of space to work with. Her defender has to close out quickly, and then the defender does step up, but she's not that tight on her, and Kelsey Mitchell is able to get the defender with that quick step back. But I like the play because, for one, Kelsey Mitchell isn't going ISO. She's not going one-on-one with that hocus pocus crap, right? What Kelsey Mitchell is doing is she's letting the game come to her, and she's just playing a part of the offense in the flow of the game. This is where Kelsey Mitchell is at her best. She's not at her best when she gets the ball at the wing and then she calls ISO and then she dribbles for 10 seconds. No, you just get the ball off a catch, maybe do 1 or 2 dribbles and then get to your shot. Or you just cut to the paint, catch the ball, easy layups. Or you just get the ball, one pump fake, straight down to the rim, easy layup. You don't want to see Kelsey Mitchell doing all these dribbles. If she dribbles for more than like 5 to 6 seconds, it's over. I don't like that from Kelsey. I like this from Kelsey. Now check out this next play. Caitlin Clark isn't pushing the pace or anything like that, but she touches the paint, amazing pass, and it leads to an open look for Caitlin. Ultimately, the ball goes around and it comes back to Caitlin, and she gets an open look. She does miss the shot, but I want you to notice Kelsey Mitchell. Effort wins games. Kelsey Mitchell shows effort on this play, and effort is what is going to win you games. You have to play with speed, you have to play with quickness, you have to play with acceleration, but you also have to play with effort. Effort is going to win. This is how you win games. You have to want it more than the other team, and I like to see the Indiana Fever playing with a little bit of effort, a little bit of assertiveness, and a little bit of drive. That is what gets them these wins in the fourth quarter. Check out this next play. Caitlin Clark is dribbling the ball slow. They're not pushing the pace, but this is an amazing play call by Christy Sides. I can't be mad at it. Notice how Caitlin Clark comes off an amazing screen by Aaliyah Boston, and Aaliyah just rolls to the paint. Caitlin Clark is going to draw attention down low in that paint, so Leah Boston, she smartly just trails behind, ready to catch the ball in the right position. Easy layup. I really love this pick and roll. It's amazing. This is what we lacked seeing earlier in the season. Those screens were terrible. That was a good screen, a good roll. Leah Boston isn't, posting up. No, she goes to the paint. She becomes a roller. She's rolling like Timmy Fagbenley was when she was healthy. I love this. Nothing but good will come from properly run pick and rolls. I wanted to throw in this clip just so I can prove my point. The Indiana Fever did not have good perimeter defense here. Notice how Lexi Hull is just getting caught on that screen. These Minnesota Lynx players are just hitting a lot of threes, and that's what kept them in this game. That's what nearly won in this game. It's just those three-point shots, man. So when it comes down to it, the Indiana Fever had to buckle down on defense to win this game. And check out this next play where they do just that. This is amazing defense and rotations by Indy here. And look at Kelsey Mitchell. She comes over and gets that steal. And then Aaliyah Boston with the effort to make the ball not go out of bounds to save it. And they push the pace. Kelsey Mitchell ends up getting fouled. That's 2 free throws. What won you this game was your effort. Effort won you this game. You had to buckle down on defense and get it done. The other team was hitting a bunch of threes. So when you want to win this game, you have to stop them from hitting them. That's just it. You can do whatever you want on offense, but you win games because of your defense. Defense wins games because in the crunch moment, if you cannot stop the other team, you will not win. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my main takeaway / commentary of the game. First of all, the Indiana Fever, they get up to 11-14 on the year. And guess what? They're now the 7th seed. They're the 3rd seed in the league. So they're the 7th seed overall. They are securing themselves a playoff spot. Yes, injuries do have to do with it. They have played on that past 2 games. They've played teams that are, injured, but at the end of the day, they're winning these games, and they're still not easy games to win. You're playing against a Minnesota Lynx team that was 17-6 going into this game. It is a hard, difficult W to obtain. But I want you guys to remember what Caitlin Clark said at the beginning of the year. Everybody was talking about her being the GOAT and this and that, but she said she just wanted to get this team to the playoffs. That was her goal. That is what she said in her first ever press conference. I remember it. I remember when she had the press conference. I remember when they posted it to YouTube. I watched it because it's all on my For You page. I remember exactly what she said. She said she wanted to get this team to the playoffs. That was her goal, and they're about to do it. Also, Caitlin Clark did not have the best game, and this is kind of my installment on Rookie of the Year because I haven't spoken on it at all. I think Caitlin Clark is by far the Rookie of the Year at this point. I don't think it's really a race at this point. At least if you look at it on terms of better player, Caitlin Clark is by far a better player than Angel Reese, and it's really not close. It's actually not close at all. Caitlin Clark is better at basically everything besides rebounding, and Angel Reese should be a great rebounder because she's a big man. That's not taken away from Angel Reese. For one, her rebounding is superb. I'm not going to act like she's like a regular big rebounder. She's like the best rebounder in the whole league, and she's a rookie, right? She's doing great things, but as a player, she's nowhere near Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is levels above her. Angel Reese is a role player. That's not an insult. She's literally just a role player. Dennis Rodman was a role player. Like, she is not an offense. Like, she is not James Harden. She's not like that. Caitlin Clark is literally James Harden. Like, she's a Steve Nash type of Steph Curry type of player. You're not going to sit there and compare, Andre Drummond to Steph Curry. That's kind of what it is when you compare Angel Reese to Caitlin Clark. They're two totally different players in two totally different stratospheres. Now, you can make a case for Angel Reese as Rookie of the Year based on consistency, but as of late, Caitlin Clark has been very consistent. Even though she's coming off a bad game, you know what to expect from her. She's been amazing over the past, I think, 11 games. She's averaging over 10 assists per game. I don't think it's really a race at this point. I think Caitlin Clark is by far better. Angel Reese is great. She's having a good year, but the idea that Angel Reese is Rookie of the Year right now over Caitlin Clark is absurd to me, even though ESPN says otherwise. The last thing I want to say about this game is the fact that Aaliyah Boston has been playing well as of recently, and I like to see her just continuing to be consistent. She's not having many lapses. I haven't had to say anything bad about her over like the past 5 to 6 games. She's just been playing consistent. She's the most consistent player on this team. She's been very efficient, and I just want to give her a props because Aaliyah Boston is amazing. I think as we go on, we're going to see her continue to progress, and I think as she, puts on that three-point shot, starts being more comfortable taking those mid-range shots as she has been as of late, I think she's going to really go down as one of the greats in this game. As long as she keeps playing with Caitlin Clark and she keeps running fast and playing in transition with Caitlin Clark, she's just going to get found. She's just going to get a lot of easy buckets. Without further ado, though, I'm done with this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I certainly did. Make sure you like and subscribe. If you like these videos and you've been watching these videos and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. It does really help. We're on the road to 10K, and appreciate you guys for 5K for the record. Man, we are growing fast, faster than I ever thought we'd grow. Never thought I'd see the day when I'd have 5K subscribers on YouTube. So shout out to every single one of you who comment, like these videos, and share it. I love you all. Peace out.